Top of the hour, welcome back to Court TV Live. Busy morning, Wednesday morning here at Court TV. Two separate courtrooms in the Twin Cities has our focus. We'll get you back live for more testimony in the Kim Potter trial over in Minneapolis. But right now we want to head out to St. Paul, Minnesota and check in with our correspondent, legal correspondent, Julia Janae, who was just inside the federal courthouse behind her for the change of plea. Not guilty to guilty. Julia, good morning to you. Paint the picture of inside that federal courtroom. What took place?
Good morning, Ted. Two pleas of guilty from Derek Chauvin. He was dressed in an orange prison jumpsuit inside of that federal courtroom. There were a lot of spectators there who were watching from inside. Not only a row of people supporting Derek Chauvin, but also the brothers of George Floyd and those who were there with juvenile number one, who we know from that second layer of the federal charges against Derek Chauvin, not just having to do with George Floyd, but also a 2017 incident where he arrested a 14-year-old and held that 14-year-old down prone, also putting his body on top of his neck. Here are the words that we heard from Derek Chauvin in court. The prosecutor reading aloud these details that he had to allocute to on the record. Alan Slaughter is the assistant U.S. attorney who said, "You willfully deprived George Perry Floyd of his constitutional rights. You held your left knee on his neck and body after he was not resisting, and even when he became non-responsive." Derek Chauvin's reply to that, yes. They went on to ask him about juvenile number one in 2017. Also, you held your knee and your body on his back while he was prone, while juvenile one was not resisting. Derek Chauvin saying that is correct, Ted.
Sentencing will be at a later date. He's facing what? And which takes precedent? Will he be doing time in the federal system or the state system? How's this going to work as we move forward?
Ted, I'm having a bit of trouble hearing you, so I'm going to just lay out some of the other things that we saw inside of the courtroom today. It was very quick. The judge first reminding everyone that today is Bill of Rights Day and urging them, while we are here talking about federal charges and constitutional rights, that they then would go and reread the Bill of Rights and understand that, just setting the tone for this all-important hearing that's happening. The brothers of George Floyd, after this is over, Rodney was inside, Falonis, they're saying that this is a good day for justice because this is a secondary look at this case. We already know that Derek Chauvin was found guilty by that jury, but here you have him on the record admitting to it, saying that yes, he did do these things and he did it willfully. Also, again, in that courtroom, that juvenile who we expect to be coming out of the courtroom along with their attorney, possibly even speaking to us. This is a case that didn't get a lot of attention, especially not when it happened in 2017. But because of the intense look at Chauvin's background is the reason that 2017 incident even came to light, came to public. Chauvin was never reprimanded for what happened in that incident. But then when these federal charges were filed after the verdict in this case in state court just over the bridge in Minneapolis, we're then seeing it front and center inside the courtroom, along with the name that so many are familiar with, George Perry Floyd, and hearing Derek Chauvin allocute and say, yes, he pleads guilty to that charge.
All right, and we are expecting the sentencing portion of this to take place. I don't know, can you hear me, Julia, now? Does that work? Is it working? Okay, great. Set up the sentencing.
Yes,
the sentencing now. He's got a window of 20 to 25. What's going to transpire?
Right, so this is something that the U.S. Attorney's Office is submitting to the court, 20 to 25 years, that maximum sentence. So the judge will take care of all this. He will take it all into account. He will go over the pre-sentencing report that's going to be put together and submitted to him. He said there's going to be an opportunity for both sides to review this. Eric Nelson is the attorney for Derek Chauvin, even in this federal case, and we remember him from the state trial earlier this year. After that, after they have had the chance to review it and ask for an evidentiary hearing if they want it. Then the judge will set a sentencing date. This, according to the plea agreement, is going to run concurrently with the 22.5-year sentence that he's already serving in that maximum security prison here in Minnesota. That's a state prison. But we heard today the assistant U.S. attorney talking about serving out this sentence in federal custody. So not sure if that's going to be the judge's decision on whether or not he serves this in federal custody versus state custody. But this sentence for the federal charges is longer. It's 25 years. And typically, a federal sentence is served 90% of the time, not the 2/3 that we know is the typical time that people serve a state sentence. So what he is agreeing to is a stiffer penalty. But as the judge mentioned, he faced up to life in prison for these federal charges, but for this plea agreement.
Yeah, fascinating. And it is a difference if you serve time in federal custody or state custody, especially if you're Derek Chauvin and you're in the state of Minnesota, probably factored into all of this. All right, Julia, Janae, thank you. If anything happens outside that courthouse in St. Paul, please tell us, and we'll go back to you immediately. If we get more, obviously, we will share it with you. But right now, we want to, as Julia said, go across the bridge to Minneapolis and rejoin the live testimony in the Kim Potter trial. Mike Peterson still on the stand. Let's listen.